Here on Chat Television, it's time once again to focus on your money. It's Wealth Wednesday. Neil Mardian, investment advisor with TD Wealth, is here. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hope you had a great holiday season.
Yes, it was wonderful.
You know, we're in a whole new year.
Whole new year.
And I like to, with my guests, recap the year that was. So can you recap 2023 from a money point of view?
Well, I can talk a little bit about the fun highlights that happened in 2024.
What happened in 2023?
You know, just some fun things.
Okay.
Well, we had some bank failures that started off the year. If you remember, there was the Silicon Valley and First Republic Bank, and the sky was falling back in March. By the time it all ended up, where it all ended up, there was a whopping 3 to 4 U.S. banks that actually failed. But it was a hot topic in my office, at least, with the Canadian banking system, if it was really going to matter. Comparison, 2009, there was 140 banks that failed. So just to give you some context, it really didn't really mean into anything. Then we had some interest rate hikes again for most of the summertime. That was kind of the hot topic with inflation, and we had 3 or 4 interest rate hikes in Canada and the U.S. Eventually, we topped out at 5% here in Canada now of interest rates from a Bank of Canada standpoint. Then in September there, we had a little bit of a UAW strike that happened that caused a little bit of problems in the car industry. And then in November, we had the crypto, the Sam Bankman-Fried trial that happened and is still ongoing a little bit. And he's been now obviously now maybe going to go behind bars at some point in time. And then we concluded the year now with this magnificent 7 in the stock market, which has been the hot 7 stocks that have driven the stock market to kind of all-time highs. You know, all the technology and internet companies out there.
Well, the stock markets are still at an all-time high, but how did the markets fare overall at year-end? Oh,
it was a great year. It ended up being an outstanding November and December to kind of conclude the year. Basically, they're all near all-time highs now. So the S&P 500 was up like 24%. The Dow Jones is up 13%. The Canadian markets were up 8%. That tech sector that I was speaking of was up 43%, led by those magnificent 7 technology companies that were up over a cumulative of 100% each.
Wow.
It, the bond market for that matter, the safer bond market was up 4.5% to 5%. So, it was a really nice end to 2023.
So the year ended well. Here we are, the first couple of weeks of 2024. What does 2024 hold?
Well, it's actually looking pretty optimistic too. GDP numbers are really good. There is the expectation that interest rates are going to start to creep back down, probably 2, 3, 4 times. Starting here in the springtime, that's kind of what the Bank of Canada and the Federal Reserve are kind of indicating. So, with some good, like I said, GDP numbers and interest rates coming down, that's kind of usually a good recipe for success for the stock market. And for the economy. From a planning standpoint, just some quick things to remember. Your tax-free savings account can be added to again now for 2024. The limit now is $7,000. If you're a younger outer person, you might want to talk to your advisor about the new First Home Savings account. And you definitely want to talk to a financial planner or an advisor, because there's no better time than now to kind of concentrate on your RSPs and paying down your debts and kind of getting a plan here for 2024, Dan.
Paying down your debt? Who has debt?
Right.
Wow.
Right. Who would want to pay down interest?
Listen, it's always a good time to meet with you. Happy New Year. Good to see you. Neil Mardian from TD Wealth has been here for Wealth Wednesday, giving us a lot to think about. And as always, it's never a bad time to talk to a financial advisor. Good to see you, buddy.
Yes. Thanks, man.
That's it for Chat News at noon. We're back at 5 with all the latest for you.